Hey everyone, it's Jonathan, and welcome back to Wonderland Wednesday. Today we're continuing our Summer of Alice with an interview with Sam and Jenna of the Curiouser Archive. Earlier this year, we recorded an episode for every version ever looking at a whole bunch of lost Alice in Wonderland media, and at the same time, since Sam had never been on the show before, we did a Q&A style interview with him. That podcast will be coming soon to every version ever, but first I'll also be using it as a series of shorter episodes right here on Wonderland Wednesday. This is where they'll debut before going up as a full-length podcast on every version ever. Anyway, before we get into the Lost Alice media, here's our Q&A with Sam. Okay, well, I guess I'll just jump in and then I'll be talking to Sam, but if Jenna wants to say anything, she can insert herself if she wants to.
I'll try not to. I feel like I talk for Sam too much sometimes.
Well, I do tend to be quiet.
Yeah. It's your turn to shine.
I guess the first thing will be, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm Sam Townsend. I run the YouTube channel Curiouser Archive, which you've probably seen. Mm-hmm. I collect a lot of Alice adaptations, and I've been doing this for about 7 years now.
I feel old now.
It's kind of impressive, the stuff that you guys have been able to find and put together.
Yeah, there's a lot of work that's gone into that. A lot of research and a lot of money.
Sam's here I am jumping in. Sam does, to be honest, most of the work. I tend to do more of the research stuff. He's very good on the technical side, but he's also good at research. Sometimes we'll be researching something and he's just like, oops, I accidentally found this new Alice we never heard of before. And I'm like, stop.
That happens more often than I usually like to admit.
Yeah.
It's weird because usually when I'm looking for one thing, I end up not finding it at all, but finding something else completely different.
Yeah. It's too much.
Sometimes it does seem a little too much.
Yeah. One time when we went to Disney World, he he couldn't sleep or something before the airplane trip.
Yep.
And he was like, "Oh, hey, I found another one, Jenna."
Yeah, that happened, and it was in a really obscure one. I think we're going to talk about it today because it's a missing one.
There's not much to say about it, though.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of information about it.
Well, how did you two meet? Was it through Alice in Wonderland?
Yes, very much so. We met because I sent Jenna a message one day asking if she had a better copy of 1931.
Oh, okay.
Of course, of all the Alices it could be, it has to be that one.
Yeah, and I was also kind of dumb then, and I didn't realize resolution things. So I had a very low resolution video up. So when he asked me that, I was like, oh, maybe. And then it just kind of went from there. We talked about our, I linked my list and he's like, I'm going to throw my list out. Yours is more complete.
Yep. I had started putting together a list actually not too long before we met. And as soon as I saw Jenna's, I just tossed it out because hers was so much better.
And then I think we shared our favorite adaptations that we had seen so far, and we bonded over 1972.
Yeah, I remember pretty quickly you asked me if I had a copy of 1972, and I did.
Yeah, and I actually had, unknown to him, of course, I posted in my personal blog for my friends that if somebody had a good copy of 1972, I'd marry them. And so he sent me screen caps of his 1972, which at that time was the best. I'm really sorry we can't upload that on YouTube because of the stupid copyright holders. But I was like, closest I'll get to a restored version.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the only copy I've ever seen that has the colors intact, which is kind of big for that one.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that 1972 was such a sought after version. So has it never been released on Blu-ray or anything?
Nope.
It has really not. And most of the copies out there are terrible.
Really degraded.
They're super degraded. A lot of them look like they're from tape sources, because they're panned and scanned, and they're just terrible. And the copyright holder just really doesn't care about it.
That's weird.
They actually took down Sam's video of it because it was better than theirs.
Yeah, and the copy that I had up was one that I had to import from Spain, of all places.
Huh. That's so weird. You'd think that it's not like recent, but it's more recent than a lot of them. You'd think that there would be one that would be more released, more available. That's strange.
It is a strange situation. I think it's public domain in the UK. And British people know about it because sometimes it's shown on TV, but they don't seem to care about it that much. It's very strange.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I know that the copyright holder in the US really does not care about it, but they are very protective of their copyright.
Yeah, though I've seen people upload it on YouTube again, and they haven't taken it down.
Yeah, I have too, so I don't know what the deal is. I wonder if maybe they went after me just because
they went after you because your copy was better.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Who's going to buy theirs if they can see yours for free?
Yeah.
Theirs is really bad. Like, it's not the worst I've seen, because I've seen worse 1972s than theirs, but it's...
I have too. But it's definitely... There are definitely better ones available.
Yeah.
That's so weird. So, what is your favorite adaptation?
1972, no question.
Okay. It's a perfect match then.
It is. Do you have any other favorites, Sam?
Really like the Royal Ballet version. Also the Disney version.
Okay. Yeah, the Royal Ballet one is one that's on my list that I need to see.
Oh, it's really good.
You definitely need to see it.
It looks really good.
I recommend the 2011 recording for a first view because it has all the right shots and the cast is really good.
Yeah, that's definitely the best recording to start with.
Yeah. Some of the later recordings, they do more like detail shots, and that could be kind of confusing if it's your first time watching it.
Okay.
Plus, I think it has the best combination of cast members, just overall.
Oh, and it has Simon Russell Beale. He was the King of Hearts in 1999.
Oh.
He plays the Duchess. He's hilarious.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, is the 1972 version your favorite movie, or do you have something else that's your favorite movie?
Oh,
like,
wow.
Beyond just Alice.
Favorite movie in general, I don't even know where to go with that, to be honest. I'm too indecisive as a person.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I tell people that my favorite movie is Fantasia just because it's an easy answer and it's one of my favorites, but I have a lot of favorites.
Well, Sam, you can list like a few movies you like.
Oh, wow. Maybe I should have thought about this before we started because I don't even know where to go with
this. I did warn you.
I know you did. I'm not saying you're at fault here.
You could list just a few that first pop into your head of ones that you really like.
Jeez. My head's just going blank right now. It does that too much.
You like Disney movies?
I do, but I like too many of them to rattle them off.
But I mean, that's something. Okay, you can only watch one movie for the rest of your life, and you can't choose 1972. What's it going to be?
Oh my god. That is such a loaded question.
Sorry, I do this a lot to him. If you really can't think about it, we can move on, but
I think we're gonna have to. Sorry.
So you like Disney movies? Do you like animated movies, or is it like just a Disney thing?
I actually like animated movies in general.
we watch a lot.
Yeah, we do watch a lot, and there's still a lot that I need to see. I only really started getting into them again like 7 years ago, so there's a lot that I still need to see.
Do you have any favorites of those that you can name, or is that too hard as well?
Oh,
Sam,
wow.
Sam, Frozen. Talk about it.
No.
Yes.
That is definitely not my favorite.
But you should talk about it.
I mean, Jenna teases me about this all the time, but Frozen is kind of what started my path into Alice, as weird as that is to say.
How did Frozen lead to Alice?
It's kind of a long
journey.
Story. So back in 2014, I don't know why, but for some reason I watched the movie Frozen, and that kind of got me into animated movies and honestly children's media in general. That's kind of what started that.
Before that, he wasn't into it at all.
Yeah, I had like no interest in children's media or animation or anything like that, really.
That's interesting that Frozen was the gateway.
I know it's unusual, and like I said, Jenna teases me about it all the time, and rightfully so.
What was it about Frozen that you really liked?
I guess it was just something different.
Did you like Elsa? Because I mean, she's kind of the first Disney princess. I know she's the queen, but that kind of has like mental health problems going on.
I mean, at the time, I mean, for that period of time, it probably became my favorite movie until I started it branching out more into other Disney movies and other animated movies. I guess after that, I kind of started getting into reading. So I started with the Harry Potter books, something I remembered really enjoying as a kid. So I reread those. And then I moved on to A Series of Unfortunate Events books from there. Another thing I'd remembered from my childhood.
I was obsessed with those books.
They're good books.
They're really good.
So good.
And that's kind of how I led into Alice. I was looking into kind of more stuff to read, and I was reading some stuff on, I think it was actually A Series of Unfortunate Events message board where I saw a bunch of people recommend Alice. So that's what started that journey. I read the book and then kind of fell in love with it.
Okay. Interesting.
But he's still not sure what he got him into adaptations.
I mean, after reading the book, I believe I started watching a couple of adaptations. Like I know I saw the Disney movie pretty quickly after that. And I think I saw it out in 1999 because I remembered actually seeing that one as a kid. And then
that was probably my favorite.
It's a good choice. And I started looking into what other ones were out there, and I saw that there were a ton of them. And I guess because I'm a little bit crazy, I decided I needed to see them all.
A little bit.
And pretty quickly I figured out that there was no good list of them out there. Well, I didn't know about Jenna's list yet, but all the lists that I was seeing were obviously incomplete. So I started putting together my own, and things just kind of went from there. I was seeking them out, and once I got to 1931, I met Jenna.
Such an interesting
our Alice
version.
I think it's hilarious. If you have kids, they're gonna watch it. Like, this is
they're gonna have to. I don't know what they'll think about them being the reason for their existence. For that one being the reason for their existence.
At some point, they'll be sent back in time and have to do a Back to the Future thing where they have to make sure that it comes out like the mess like it is.
Oh my
god. Like, no, you have to speak horribly.
Yes.
That would be a bizarre film if someone had to go back in time to make sure the 1931 Alice in Wonderland turned out to be a mess.
Yes.
That would be a good film.
I would definitely watch it.
I mean, if it were a good film, it probably wouldn't be so rare. So maybe I wouldn't have ever sent that message.
Well, that's what I mean, because if it was a good film, then it wouldn't be obscure, right?
Yeah.
And so we wouldn't have met, so it has to be bad. And it goes all back to the future. Like, they look at their hand, it's like disappearing, you know. I love Back to the Future.
I love it too.
Years.
Good movie. You know, they came out with a musical.
Musical?
Yeah,
Back to the Future?
Yeah, it just premiered in the West End, but it was closed for COVID.
Oh, okay. That would be something to see.
The Marty McFly is really good, actually. He sounds just like Michael J. Fox. The Doc, he's okay. I love Christopher Lloyd. It's hard to replace him. He's also one of my favorite White Knights.
I mean, it's kind of impossible to replace Christopher Lloyd. He's just incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've kind of covered a lot of what would be the other questions that I would normally ask. So the last couple of questions that I usually try to ask has to do with like what you watched growing up. So did you have a favorite movie or cartoon or show that you watched growing up?
Oh wow. Oh wow, that's such a difficult question. Honestly, I don't remember most of the stuff I saw growing up.
Didn't you say like you didn't have like TV or something or a lot of movies?
Yeah, I mean, in our household, we didn't exactly have a lot of movies or stuff. Also, didn't have cable.
Well, the same. we had like growing up when I was like from the ages of 0 to 10. I think we had like 2 movies on VHS. And that was it. The rest was occasionally borrowing stuff from the library. We didn't have cable.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were like in our
Basic
household.
TV. I think we had like 5 channels, and that was it.
I was a very spoiled kid. I had almost every Disney movie on tape.
Yeah, you were lucky.
No, it's called spoiled.
I wouldn't have seen it that way as a kid.
Like I would get annoyed because my friends, all they want to do is watch the Disney movies when they came over. It's like,
I mean, can you really blame them?
Yeah, I know. It's like
Disney Plus wasn't exactly a thing back then.
Yeah.
You were Disney Plus.
I was the Disney Plus.
The last question I usually try to ask people is, what is the first movie that you remember seeing in theaters?
Oh wow. I think it might have been Stuart Little.
That's a weird one.
I mean, it is. I can't remember seeing anything before that. There might have been something, but I certainly don't remember it.
I haven't seen that movie in years.
Me neither.
That came out before my family started going to theaters. We didn't go until I was like early teens.
Really?
So
wow.
That one I think we borrowed from the library to watch. When did Stuart Little come out? I don't remember.
Late 90s, I think.
Yeah, so we probably hadn't started going to theater by that point.
My earliest, I think last time I said Hunchback was probably my earliest, but the last one I actually remember, to be honest, is Casper.
I don't think I've ever seen that. That was probably a forbidden movie when I was a kid.
It's bad. It's a bad movie.
I don't recall ever seeing it.
Okay, well, I think that's all my questions. We probably can move on to the main show now.
Yes.
All right.
Thanks to Sam for doing this Q&A with me, and to Jenna for joining us. Coming soon on Wonderland Wednesday, Sam, Jenna, and I will be talking all about lost Alice in Wonderland media. There are so many movies and TV programs that for a variety of reasons we can't watch anymore, or maybe have never been able to watch, and as Sam and Jenna are the Alice experts, I knew they would have a lot to say about these missing films. The first of those episodes will be up next time, so make sure to come back for more Wonderland Wednesday. Thanks for watching.